It's all blown out. Candle for celebration. It is the 24th of May today, SpongeBob. You know what that means, don't you? You are right indeed. It was exactly 1 year ago today I was wearing this top doing a 62-mile ultra challenge. Yes, I was doing it for a local charity to me. And you know what, SpongeBob? You were my mascot. Went through the whole journey. You were there with me at the finish line. You were there with me on the first checkpoints with Mum and Dad travelling by car to make sure I was well fueled at every rest stop. And oh, what a day it was. I honestly absolutely loved it. And let's be honest, this channel would not have existed if it wasn't for those ultra challenges. I wouldn't be doing fragrance videos, that is for sure. Look, okay, I don't have many subscribers. We've been through this many times, but it doesn't matter. It's a good hobby. Got loads of fragrances. I really enjoy them. It's not a waste of money. What's a waste of money? Yeah, I know I can't wear them all at the same time, but it's not like chocolate or fruit or something that's going to go off every second. I can have these in 2 and 3 years' time, and they'll still smell nice. I'll still smell nice. Yeah, and look, you've been using a lot of them as well, so you've been getting through half of these. I would have had them for a lot longer. But it did get me thinking, you know, I'm kind of here 1 year on, and I'm going out for my run in a minute. And I miss doing the ultra. I miss doing a long 62 miles, 16-hour workout session. Got me thinking, how could I do it again? If I was to do it again, I had a really bad knee on this run. How could I do better next time? Watching all the people doing it at the minute just makes me feel like I'm missing out. But I wouldn't be ready to do it at the moment. And I need something to get me through those difficult moments. I wonder what fragrances we could use for each checkpoint. Do you remember all the checkpoints that were on this event? 100k. So it was 12k. That was the first rest stop. You're right. 12k. 25, 42. That's a marathon. 58, 68, 80, 88, and then 100. We've got quite a lot of checkpoints there, haven't we? That's a lot of fragrances we need to try it right. What to go for first? Let's try and remember back to what happened at that first stop. We're at the first station, which is 12k. Feel fine, just too hot, so I'm going to take this top off, just chuck it in the bin, to be honest with you, because it's muggy. But yeah, just in case of refueling now, I'm going to go and grab some flapjacks and stuff, and yeah, I'm not going to hang around there, just going to carry on, and yeah, feel good, feel really strong, my legs feel fine, no aching or anything. The nerves are still there, not going to lie, still a long way to go, but yeah, as I said, it's a long way, but this is the nice bit, this is the road bit, so yeah, getting some good mileage up. Anyway, catch you in a bit. They're off, and I left at 7 a.m, exactly the same time that my start time was last year, but it's very different in terms of the weather at the minute. For that 5 till 7 a.m. on the forecast last year, it said it was a 2 drops of rain on the forecast. It was going to be heavy rain, essentially, forecast. But by the time I got there, thankfully it was a little bit overcast, but it wasn't too bad. It was definitely windier than this as well. And I ended up putting 3 layers on, and I was wearing trousers, whereas today, I'm in my shorts, I'm in my t-shirt, wearing the same shirt that I did a year ago. I had 3 layers on, and by the time I got to 12k, I was absolutely melting, completely melting away. So I thought, do you know what, I've got this free t-shirt which I've written people's names on, people who donated to me on it, and I thought I'm just going to have to throw it in the bin because it was absolutely sodden by the time I got to the first checkpoint, so I was pretty hot. And I think next time what I would do is I need to be a bit cooler, so I'd certainly be wearing more of a t-shirt and shorts, but I need a cool fragrance as well, something that makes you feel perfect for it, something that's suitable for those early parts of a workout, refreshing, like you've just come out of the shower. And it's almost in the name, this one, Davidoff Cool Water. It's got to be. That is a cool, refreshing scent, a nice sort of green sort of tinge to it, but it reminds me of the deep sea, and obviously someone who, like myself, who always runs around the sea as well. That's perfect. It's exactly what I'd want it for, and I think that one would help keep me cool, alongside maybe just reducing the amount of layers I wear, because of course the more layers you wear, the more sweat you lose, and when you're out for sort of 16 to 20 hours exercising, you definitely don't want that. So Davidoff Cool Water is going to get me through the first checkpoint, the first stage of next year's Ultra Challenge. stuffed. Honestly, I've been an eating and drinking machine so far. I've just got a picnic card for lunch, but obviously it's only, I don't know, my watch is telling me something else now. It's only 9:51, so I'm not hungry at all. I'm used to running this distances. Legs are fine, no rubs. The only issue is my ankle's digging a little bit maybe, but I've got my heel cups if I need them as well. So yeah, should be all right. But yeah, thanks for support on there as well. If I can get any more donations, that'd be greatly appreciated. See mum and dad, get the picture. I'll post that on there. So I've just replaced my heel. But yeah, other than that, it's just keep plodding along. Really, there's an Oasis lyric, "Keep on keeping on," and that's kind of what I keep saying in my mind. Keep on keeping on, because yeah, even though we're a quarter of the way, it's going to be a lot more than that. But yeah, the bulk of the running's pretty much done now for me. It's just a case of just keep going for as long as I feel comfortable, and yeah, then if I need to starting to walk the hills, I will do. But yeah, again, thanks everyone for supporting as well, and yeah, catch you later for the next update. Weather is fine at the minute. I am quite warm, but I've kept everything on because I don't want to stop too long. So checkpoint 2, 25k, and this was kind of the first major stop at the Ultra. This is where you could kind of go from eating just sort of snack bits to having a proper meal, but at that stage it was only 9:50, as you would have just heard. I certainly wasn't hungry. I'm an ultra runner. I'm used to running over half marathons just like nothing. So at this stage though, there were some other concerns I had. First one was my foot. I had a lot of issues during my training with my ankle digging in, and it was quite uncomfortable. I had like a little red ankle, so I was deciding at this stage whether to put the heel inserts in. But the main reason I didn't was because there was a slight change in the weather. It was kind of a little bit like it is now, but it's slightly more overcast, but it was getting warmer. And I was thinking, oh, do you know what? Let's keep going. Let's get to that first marathon before it gets too hot, and then I can kind of refuel and start to walk when I feel like it. Because I thought, as long as the body sort of feels good, don't worry too much about a plan. Just keep plodding along and get as close to the end as I can. So for this one, I think the frames I would have used would have got me through it now, where I'd gone from transitioning about talking about the weather to start talking about my aches and pains. It's luscious blue skies and fluffy white clouds. This is a really underrated phrase, a very unique one. It reminds me a little bit of Davidoff Zeno, but it's got this really strong, and it's very, very strong, dark, earthy, patchouli note about it. And I think for that sort of climate where it's kind of, it's not really cold, it's not really hot, but it's starting to warm up, it's got something quite clean in it at the same time, a little bit soapy. There might be a bit of oat moss in this. I think this would be perfect for that transition stage. It has a bit more complexity than a cool water, for example, and I think that would have intrigued me where I'm starting to get tired. It's a strong fragrance. I think it would have just kept my interest and kept me going and distracted my mind from those aches and pains that I was getting from my ankle. So at 25k next time, we'll be wearing lush blue skies and fluffy white clouds. Hi everyone. Yeah, marathon done. 42k. I feel fine other than my foot starting to hurt just from all the pounding, but legs don't ache at all. Well, I like they do a bit. Currently eating picnic bits. Best thing in them, definitely white chocolate triangles. They are heaven. So, still eating too much. I'm going to definitely have to walk the next bit. It's might be good for my foot anyway, but I'm going to try and nick some fruit now. So 42k, checkpoint 3, that is exactly 26 miles. So at that stage, I had run a marathon and I was shocked at how good I was feeling. My foot was starting to hurt a little bit, but the main thing I was feeling was starting to feel properly hungry. And I thought, this is the time I really need to fuel up. I was eating things like watermelon, but the best bit of this station, they had a bit of pick and mix, and they had these little white chocolate stars. And as you would have seen, I called it a triangle in the video, which probably shows you I was getting quite tired. But I spoke to a couple of the other ultra runners at the time, started to make a few sort of friends at that stage, and that made me feel more part of it, because of course I'd done all the training on my own, I was doing the event on my own, and it was just nice to have that bit of comforting, uplifting, camaraderie amongst all the ultra runners. We were all in it together, but also that comfort came from eating chocolate. I love chocolate, and I've always said, as a runner, as an ultra runner, people think you've got to have all these gels and bars. Just eat a bit of chocolate. Sugar is sugar. And I think one of my favourite sort of chocolatey fragrances that conveniently has a star shape as its bottle is Amen by Thierry Mugler. My dad had this years ago. I got in trouble because I used to spray it in his room and go through it like nothing. This is when I was a child. It was probably one of the first fragrances I ever loved. And that will give me that bit of nostalgia, that bit of, positive, happy memories, which of course this ultramarathon does as well, to get me through that stage. Because from Marathon 1, which I was doing, the next stop is another 16k. It's up to 58k, which is a long more running to do at that stage without a break. So I would need something comforting and maybe trying to think about some happy memories. And Amen certainly does that one. So that would be the one that I wear next year at the marathon stage. Thierry Mugler, Amen.
So 58k done. Marathon to go. I'm going to keep my running shoes on. Just try and run a little bit longer if I can. I'm just going to refuel, and then I'll be good to go. But feel fine. To be honest, I'm getting different aches and pace at different times. As long as I can keep running, keep plowing, feel mentally strong, even if I don't physically. Let's do it.
And checkpoint 4, so 58k, and I'll be honest, I probably feel as tired now as I did at that time, and I haven't even done 5.8k, let alone 58k this morning. This was the first time I properly saw my mum and dad. My mum was in a bit of a worry. She's a worrier. She was hoping I was going to get in on time. Thankfully I was all up to time at this point, and I felt good, but she was like, you got to eat this, you got to drink this, have another one of this. And my dad was just like, leave him, he's done this all before, he trains, he knows what he's doing, let him get on with it, don't put any doubt in his mind. So anyway, I had some grapes there. I saw SpongeBob SquarePants at this point. Yes, my good friend, my Nassio. Got a little photo of him while I was eating some grapes. And I think at this stage I felt surprisingly good, even though there was one point here where I went downhill, and of course you know what it's like, sometimes running downhill you can't control your speed, and once you've done well over a marathon, you've done over like basically 40 miles I think I've done by this stage. When you're running downhill, your legs don't really want to move, but they had no choice because I couldn't control my speed. So the aches and pains at this point were starting to become a little bit more prominent, but I was still running and I felt okay, so I didn't want to hang around. But this is where the physical strength was one thing, the mental strength was another. And I think the phrase that kind of first came to my mind when I was thinking about what I need a bit of strength physically and mentally, is of course Stronger With You, a very, very well-known fragrance. Plenty of clones of this one by Armani. And it's one that it's a sweet fragrance again, and I don't know how much I'd want a sweet fragrance in an ultra, but I think that sort of motto would inspire me. And it's also one of them where it is a very safe scent. And to be honest, I think I had about 20 odd flapjacks during this run. I was eating a lot of sweet stuff as well, so I think the fragrance lends itself quite nicely to this. I wasn't worried about changing my clothes. Citrus kinds of fragrances wear off very quickly anyway, so maybe this one would have done well. It's certainly more of a night out fragrance, very easy to wear, very mass pleasing, and it just, again, that motto from this fragrance would inspire me, because I'm stronger with you, I'm stronger with SpongeBob, I'm stronger with everyone that I was talking to during my vlogs, and hopefully if anyone wants to deal with me next year, doing it together will make us both stronger. So if you want to come do this ultra with me next year, am I selling it to you?
Sort of 70k. I'm going to walk now because my knee is killing me. I keep catching it every time I run now, and it still hurts a bit walking, but got my popcorn, just having salt for this one, and don't want to hang around again. Feel fine other than that. It's just my knee slowing me down, but we'll keep going.
$68k, we're getting near the end. Well, we're not really that near the end though, are we? We've still got 32k to go. 32k SpongeBob. And at this stage, of course, last year, I was starting to get a little bit worried. The running had kind of stopped. My tracking app was telling me that I should have been in at a place when I wasn't. My mum was then in a panic, like, what's happened to me? But I was fine. I just had to start walking because it was so bad. It was so painful. And it was just a case now of getting to the end in any way I could. 3 10Ks essentially to go, around 18 to 20 miles. We'd broken the worst of it, but could we get through it? And I think it was becoming a bit of an obsession for me. You can probably see where this is going now, because in my drawer over here, I have a very big Calvin Klein 200ml bottle of Obsession. So I needed to have a different Obsession. Last year, I started to listen to podcasts at that point. I hadn't put my headphones in at that stage. This time, it will be a Calvin Klein Obsession that will take the pain away, take that knee injury, the obsession I was having with how much that was affecting me away, and that will help us get to the next checkpoint at 80k, which we'll talk about next.
Hi everyone. So yeah, I just want to first of all say thank you for all the messages. I'm seeing them come through, but obviously I haven't had a chance to reply. So yeah, I will definitely reply to everyone at some point. I've just gone past 82k. The good news is I feel physically great. I'm not tired. I don't even think I look tired. I think I look pretty fresh considering I've done over 50 miles. But the bad news is my knee is absolutely knackered. It's done in where the surface is really hard, but there's been rain. The big issue is it's quite slippery, and I think going downhill early, I think I tweaked it. But I've been sensible. I've just kind of, just decided to walk. To be honest with you, for the ultra, I've been walking. I've been training walking. I haven't been running these distances. So I've run more than I planned to, hence why I'm ahead of schedule and what I thought I was going to be. But yeah, I've had 18 flapjacks, 6 bananas, 2 Huels, I'm on to my third. God knows how many electrolyte drinks. Crisps, I had 2 lots of those bacon sort of crisps. I'd never had them in my life. But the salt is so welcome. It's not the sugar. I've had so much sugar. Buttermints. But yeah, said we'll plough on. It's 18k to go. So 80k down, and it was kind of like this. There's a load of cars going by me, as you can see now. And I remember I started off by going back onto a road, which was quite welcome, my knee being painful. But then the 80k mark was actually the kind of the time I actually had a proper meal. I remember having I think it was like a melted cheese baguette, because I knew I was going to be walking most of the time till the end. I just thought I'll have something a bit more substantial. But it was kind of that worry then. I had 12 miles to go, and I was like, metaphorically, it was like there was a carrot being dangled in front of me, and I just couldn't reach it. And I just needed something to take my mind away. And at the time, I decided to put some podcasts on. I put my hat on, as you would have just seen, just to keep myself warm, because it was getting darker, cooling down. And it was just a case of starting to film myself, starting to do some updates and get people on Facebook just saying, come on Harry, keep going. And it did definitely help. I had a lot of support on there, and that did help me get me through it. But what fragrance would I be getting through to this next stage? What could I take to get me to the 88k mark, which would be the last checkpoint? Because it was a short one, I would go for Versace the Dreamer. At this stage, of course, I was thinking at the end, I think I'm going to do it. I just hope my knee holds up. And I was just dreaming of that thought of just crossing the finish line, picturing how it was going to feel. And I wasn't sure what time it was going to be, whether it was going to be 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And it did get quite late. It did get to 11, but that dreaming of getting to the end, I think that fragrance would help me have that feeling. And because it's a fragrance I've never bought before, I'm sure I've smelt it before. Be one to add to my list. It might just help me get to that final checkpoint. Evening. Sorry, my head torch and stuff don't look very fashionable. At this point, I don't really care. 89k. It's like the uphill before the downhill, but the uphill's fine. I'm really worried about my knee with this downhill. Very blinding you. Yeah, I've just gone past 95k, literally that second. Oh, my knee. I've never been in so much pain in all my life. I'm in agony. However, we're currently on complete flat tarmac, and I can't tell you the difference that makes. Just not having the stones and stuff giving way underneath your feet. So it's 3 miles basically now. I just got to dig in, and this is where, yes, it's physical pain, but I really trust my mental strength to get me through now. Because one thing I know for a fact, if I need to dig in, I'll always dig in. So, yeah, I'm just going to dig in. Not long to go. Take my time. Got my podcasts on. Got my Huel. Got 3 flapjacks. We'll be fine. Again, thanks. I've noticed there's a couple more donations. I haven't had a chance to look who they are, but yeah, I'm going to upload 2 vlogs tomorrow. So, yeah, we'll see how we get on. I've learnt a lot, so tomorrow's vlog will definitely be about the things I've learnt. But yeah, we keep moving forward. Thanks again. Tell you what, my obsession is really kicking up at the moment. It's very, very strong, but I did overspray. But I love it. Even on a hot day like today, it's got a nice soapiness about it that just feels luxury. But 88k, 12k to go. What fragrance would I wear? Well, I'm going to go for the one to get me to the finish line. As you can see, I was kind of had enough by this stage. There was probably some bad language going on in my mind, saying it to myself. Would be Dirty English. I always remember my nan. Yeah, she always used to, whenever obviously we were around, she never wanted to actually properly swear, so her line in her mind was bloody armholes. She always said that. And to be honest with you, sometimes I think that's a good thing. You just got to roll your sleeves up and say, do you know what, the plan's gone out the window now, whatever I described, just get on with it, and probably with a few more swear words in. And I think Dirty English, yes, when people say they've got bad English, that means they're normally swearing, but Dirty English sounds like a similar thing. And to be honest, as I said, sometimes you just got to grit your teeth, and that's what I did on that last bit. I remember there were people I'd overtaken 3 or 4 hours ago, and obviously when it got quite dark, I could see like these lights coming behind me, and these were people I'd overtaken earlier. And I remember one bloke who said to me, just hang in there, mate. And that just kept me going. Honestly, I was telling myself, you know, I was going to get to the end, but I was swearing, like, in my mind, I was thinking, I've just had enough. So I think just Dirty English is a good fragrance. It feels like a macho alpha male thing, and I think at that stage of the race, of the event, whatever you want to call it, you just need to be like as tough as you can be. You know, get all these inspirational quotes and plans that you've written down, just grit your teeth and get on with it. And that's what I would do next time as well. But I did do it on that day, but I think a fragrance would just help support it on the next occasion, make it a little bit easier for that last 10k. And yeah, Dirty English would be the one I'd go for. There we are, all done. I actually think I look pretty fresh. I'm not even that tired, to be honest, but got the medal, got the t-shirt as well, and yeah, very relieved to see SpongeBob as well at the end. Yeah, looking forward to showing some of the pictures, but yeah, again, just thank you very much. Some of you have been following me the whole 16 hours, so I do appreciate that as well. And as I said, I know there's some extra donations, so thank you very much. And yeah, it'll be a couple of vlogs tomorrow, but rest my knee up tonight, and yeah, have a bit of a line. I'm not used to that, but yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks to everyone who's been watching, and yeah, be a few more vlogs next week. Get to 110, and we've done it.
We are back. We are finally back. It is 1:40. I've done 42,782 steps, which means, SpongeBob, I've probably done about a marathon today already. It's not bad, is it? But it's not quite 62 miles, and maybe it wasn't quite as exciting as doing that. Watching those videos back, having those memories back in my mind, made me think, I'd love to do it again next year. And I was just picturing getting to that finish line, and what would I absolutely love? Last time I had fish and chips. This time I don't think I'd want that at that time of night, 11:15. I think I might just go for a double espresso. Yeah. That little bit of caffeine hit at the end just to wake me back up after all that hard work. That sounds good to me. Yeah, oh, I can picture it now. Another Ultra Challenge completed. And SpongeBob, I'd love you to be on that journey with me. So yes, let me know if you think I should do another Ultra Marathon this year. It's definitely something I am considering as well. And hopefully, if any of you have considered doing one before, that's kind of giving you a bit of an impression of what it's like. Sometimes the sort of stages of suffering that you might get, and maybe how fragrances could help. Hopefully they will help if I do one next year as well. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this one today. I'll catch you later.